Hello, Aquarius. Thank you very much for tuning into your love read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Lima Tarot by Renata Lechner. For the supportive oracle cards, the Magical Spell cards by Lucy Cavendish. All right. Relationship first, single second. Oracle cards come out where needed. All right, Three of Pentacles. This is going, I feel for you, this is going to go really well. This is going to take some work, but I feel like this is pulling your partner up to your level. That's where I'm going with that. My first impression, I feel like that's why the Three of Pentacles. 1, 2, 3. Stop. Okay. I feel like, no, I think we're done. Good. I feel like you're doing pretty good here. I just feel like it's going to take some work to pull them up to your level. Let's see what we got here. Let's keep going. You have a lot of diligent effort here, but I'm noticing the Justice card. The Justice card is your challenge card. All right. What I'm feeling with this, because this does seem to be going very well for you. It really does. But what I'm getting is like they're saying be careful with the Justice. Be careful with harsh justice. Because you'll notice like that scale is balancing on a sword. Because I'm getting like this, like they're saying like remember this is your partner that you love. I don't know why we're saying that because I'm like isn't that a no-brainer? But they're like be careful how sharp this gets because I feel like justice is in your court, but justice can easily turn injustice by being overbearing or too intense. You know what I mean? There's a just turn of events in the sense of like, you know, thief. If you have a thief and they steal something and you make them pay for it, and then even like if you make them pay for it and you maybe make them do something to make up for it for the emotional imbalance. Like, you know, all right, you stole that, you got to pay for it, and now you got to do some extra work as a punishment, you have to do some extra work to make up for the wrong that you did, because you should not have stole that to begin with. So they have to pay for it, but then they have to do some extra work to make up for the indifference. Like, that would be a good justice. To me, that's like, all right, they're paying for it because they should have, but then they're also getting kind of like a punishment to teach them not to do it again. Going over the line is like, you know, cutting off their hands. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Or like, you know, public ridicule or just something where it goes way over the line where it's going to cause emotional damage or physical damage going forward. Like beating the pulp out of somebody because they stole something and like they're crippled for the rest of their life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Emotionally, we do that to people. I feel like some people, and I feel stereotypically Aquarius is very smart, very strong, and they know how to use words. And I feel like that's what they're bringing forward. You're very smart, you're very strong, and something you could get over may not be okay, may not be easy for your partner to get over. And I feel like that's what they're saying with the Justice card. Be careful of your words, more than likely. Because something that you could move on from or get over doesn't mean your partner can. So be careful about justice and how sharp justice gets, because you're very articulate, and when you need to say something or you want to say something and you want to articulate it in a certain way, you want to make a point, you can do it. Just be careful about the repercussions down the line, because if you really hurt somebody, you can like verbally you can create a wound that might last quite a while or create a scar that you might not recover from or they might not recover from, and then it will cause you problems down the line. Just be aware of it. That's all they're saying. They're not saying you're wrong. They're just saying just be careful about the justice you deal forward. That's all they're saying. Because I'm getting this Queen of Swords where you're standing with the Knight of Pentacles. I almost feel like something went out of balance here. Something went out of whack. Something went out of line here. And you're calling it out for what it is, which is necessary. They just say, be careful. Make sure the punishment fits the crime. That's all they're saying. Just be careful what you say. You don't want something that's going to damage somebody so far down the line that you actually end up, getting some punishment yourself later on down the road because of things coming back. I think you know what I mean. It feels very uncomfortable to me because I feel you're very motivated. The Queen of Swords is extremely strong. Don't get caught up in the gender, but when you have something to say and you're not happy, I feel like it's bam. You just don't want it to double back on you later. That's all I'm getting. I don't think we have to worry about it too much. Because I feel the other person highly sensitive. It's almost like the thief thing, like the thief realizing they've gotten caught, and they're just like, oh my god. And they're freaking out about what you're going to do. Because they're just subject to the punishment. It's pretty much what you say is how it's going to go. And they're freaked out about it already. They got the 5 of Cups. They're feeling bad about it. They're graceful about it. They're just hoping you're not going to beat them to death. They're just literally hoping you're not going to beat them to death. Which means your words are having an extra impact. It's just kind of like what you would say on a normal day. You could, if you said the same, whatever you're about to say or whatever you do say to them on a normal day, it would have a normal impact. Because they're highly sensitive to it, it's like having triple or 10 times the effect because they're so sensitive to it. So be aware of that too. Because I'm thinking, if you realize they're extremely sensitive, your words have triple, if not more, impact than normal. Be aware of that. It's almost like, if you hand somebody a 5-pound brick, if you hand that to them and they can hold that, that's all right. But it's like every brick you're handing them is like a 15-pound brick, not a 5-pound. So if you hand them 3 bricks and think you could hold 15 pounds, that shouldn't be a problem. But to them, it's 45 pounds. Like, think of that. Holding 15 pounds in your arms versus 45 pounds. That's a big difference. That's the difference of your words. Normally, your words would have a 15-pound effect. They're having a 45-pound effect in this situation. You're very effective. You're very effective right now. Which, you like to be effective, right? As long as you realize how strong your words are coming across, that's all I'm saying. Now, I'm getting like your partner feels bad about something. I do feel that. They seem to be owning up to the situation as well. The 5 of Swords for them is their challenge card. And it's coming in with the healing card. And I feel like this is all coming in at once is why I'm holding these all at the same time. They're feeling like they're behind the 8 ball. Whatever it is, they feel like they're behind the 8 ball on it. It's hard. Like, I'm getting like they feel like there's no win. There's no way they could win. That's what I'm getting with the 5 of Swords. Like, it's something that already happened, but there's no way to win. That's what I'm getting from this. And they're looking. Hopefully, they can heal from this. But this is the challenge situation. Like, that doesn't mean that's going to happen. Hopefully, they heal from it. If they don't take too much negativity forward from it, because they need to make this better. Because if they don't start healing from it in one way or another, it's just going to fester and get worse. The 5 of Pentacles is like they're lacking in some situation, and they need to come forward about, for example, using that thief situation. Why did they steal what they stole? It's almost like did somebody steal formula to feed a baby? Like, did they feel like they had to? Did they steal food because they needed to eat? Like, what did they steal and why did they? What did they do and why did they do it? You need the motive. Why did they do it? Why? That needs to come forward here. If the why comes forward, whatever they did, that's where they could have this moment where they don't feel really any better about it, but they could heal from it if they express why they did it. And I feel like you might be on this side just dealing out justice, but for justice to move into healing over here, you need to know why. It's not just about delving out punishment or dealing out punishment. It's about why. Justice needs to know why. It's not just about this is the result of your action, so this is what you get. Why? Because if they vent out why, this can heal. Okay, so there's something more coming forward with this, and I get that. Because I'm getting you with the Success card. I'm getting you with the Two of Cups. You very much love your partner. There's a lot of success here. You're feeling vindicated, bringing it forward. Things are going back in balance because you're calling it out for what it is, and you're telling your partner this is how it's going to be. You're delving out punishment is kind of how it feels. Like, I don't think you're literally just like saying this is what you're going to do to make up for it. 20 Hail Marys and, you know, jump in a circle 5 times. Whatever that is. But, you know what I mean? Justice is being served here, and you're feeling the victory here because justice is being served. But you still love your partner, so you're feeling it's good. I also see you quickly moving on from this, which is okay. Because I feel like once what's said is said, I literally feel you detaching from it and moving on. Like, now that it's been put back in order, I'm letting it go and I'm moving on. All right, I had to say what I had to say, and now that I have, I'm moving on. That's not bad either. I like that, actually. I think that's going to be very healing. The trick is if they are telling you why they did what they did. And it's not so much about you being happy about it or whatever, but if they vent out why and they feel heard, this changes things. Because they're moving on from this situation with the Death card and the World card. This situation is going to move on. It's going to go back. It's going to go away. It's going to go away is what I'm getting. It just seems like it's going away. Whatever it is that happened here, they're just moving on from it. If they vented why they did what they did, if they vent that out to you, I'm getting them going forward in a healing motion with the Queen of Pentacles. Things get better, and I feel communication feels improved here. I feel like they've vented their concern or why they did what they did. It's not a dirty little secret, if that's what it is. They're moving on from it because they vented it. So because they said why, because they got it off their chest. If they do not, still moving on from it, still like letting it go into the past. But if they haven't expressed why, it's harboring that feeling. It's harboring that secret. It's harboring that information that they have not shared. And instead of it healing and venting out and going away, it's just it's going to fester and it's going to create a different problem. It's going to create a different problem is what I'm getting. I feel like the whole thing about this, make them tell you why. If we're going to use the stealing analogy again, why did they feel like they needed to steal that? Was it food? Did they feel they needed to eat? Did they think somebody else wanted this? They wanted to impress somebody else with this? Why did they do what they did? Why? If you can get that, the situation will still move on either way. But it's like if they vent it out, healing and releasing, it'll be better. If they don't vent it out, it's going to fester and it's going to return as a different problem. It's going to return as a different problem is what I'm getting. Good? Good. I think we're good. All right, let's do Aquarius singles. What do we have for single Aquarians? Messages for single Aquarians. What do we have for single Aquarians? What do we have for single Aquarians? Messages for single Aquarians. Messages for single... Stop. What I'm getting here is people seeing things in a different order. It's like the order of operations that makes sense to you is different for this other person. It's almost like things are misnumbered in a sense, or it's almost like if you're doing colors, like you're thinking blue, red, yellow, green, and then they're like, well, I don't know about that. I would say it would actually be yellow, red, blue, green. And they're like, oh. And I feel like that's kind of like the difference here. Like people are seeing like the proper order of things in different sequence. And I feel like that's what's causing the problem here. Like the order of operations is different. You're thinking this is the way it should go. They're thinking this is the way it should go. Same things are being used, but in different order, which is causing some confusion. All right, so Justice card came back, and the Death card came back too, I'm noticing. Any other cards here from before? Not that I remember. Actually, the Knight of Wands was here. You got the Knight. You got the Kings. You got 2 Kings in the center, which doesn't matter. Don't get caught up in the gender. But what I'm getting here Conflict of interest. People seeing things differently. This is a hidden aspect. Hidden aspect is victory. A hidden aspect is victory here. Why is that hidden? We'll find out in a minute. I just feel like it's kind of like, I feel like you both have similar values. This person you're interested in, you have similar values, but it just doesn't seem to match up. And well, I already said there, I feel like that's why. You have similar values, you just, the order of operations is different, is how it feels. Because I'm getting the Four of Cups is kind of like, we get along on so much, but that one little piece, like, it's just, things don't seem to match, and it just seems to be a little bit of an aggravation. And I'm getting this Four of Cups like kind of a basis of where this misunderstanding is coming from. Because I feel you trying to defend how you do things and what you think things should be like. And I feel you coming forward very quickly with the Knight of Wands here. You're coming forward. You're not afraid to talk. If you need to say something, you'll say it. You're not really... Aquarius, I don't see as shy. I mean, everybody's different. You know, it depends how it works for you. But if you need to say something, usually it should come right out, is what I'm getting. And you're defending about, this is how we do it. I think it should be blue, red. What did I say before? Blue, red, yellow, green. That's how I think it should go. I think I said that wrong. Maybe blue, red, green, yellow, whatever I said before. And they're like, no. I think it should be yellow, red, blue, green. And you're just kind of like, it's so similar that you could just do it my way. It's so close to the same that you should just do it my way. They're like, no, it works better. It's supposed to go. It's very important for it to go this way. And you're like, no, it's better to go this way. Same values, just different orders of doing things. And I just feel like it throws things off. I think it's more of an aggravation than it would seem. Just like, if you just looked at it on paper, it wouldn't seem like it was that big of a deal. But when it comes into play, it really is. Because I'm getting the King of Cups with the King of Pentacles, like two strong people believing their way is right, looking at it very analytically, and just like, no, this is how you do it. No, this is how you do it. And these are very, like, they should be very complementing energies, in my opinion. But once in a while, when they both feel like they're right and things are a little different, they have a hard time backing down. I feel actually like the two of you trying to work this out with the Knight of Cups. It's almost like each of you are trying to give in to the other a little bit, which doesn't seem like that works either. Because you're both trying to find a way to make this work out, but I'm getting the Ten of Swords right behind it. It quickly just doesn't work. Like, you're trying to give in to each other, and you're trying to find ways to do it, but it does not seem to work. I see you both continually trying to make it work. But I'm getting this, the Moon card with the Safe Home Protections, kind of like, each of you giving in makes you feel like things are not right. It feels like something's wrong. It feels like something isn't the way it should be. It makes you very uncomfortable. You're both feeling this, is what I'm getting. Now, you got the Ace of Swords with the organization in the environment. The other person is so connected to their pattern that they literally cannot let it go. And they feel like it's the only way this could truly work out correctly or have a chance is for them to keep the pattern that they're used to. Because I feel like, again, and I know I'm using patterns here, but it's just basically the way they live life, how they see things. It's just enough contrary to your own that it causes upset. And they try to bend, and I feel like they're the same way. It bothers them so much. It's just like, even if they could keep it up for a month, the next 2 months they'd be completely out of whack, and they'd be very upset. They'd be like, no, this isn't right. They'd feel like things were very wrong. I'm seeing that you're also seeing this with the Five of Cups. Now, this is the hidden aspect. The victory is the hidden aspect. Like, you're seeing it now. I feel like that's why they're saying this is a hidden win, because you're seeing it for what it is. As you keep going into this, especially in the Moon card moment, like, the Moon starts to give way to you seeing the truth here. Like, you can't seem to make it work at this stage. If you decide to take this farther and become a couple at some point, you're like, we can't even get along now, and it's so simple. Like, things are so simple right now. We can't seem to agree on these things. We have similar, I think that's the kicker, though. You're like, we have similar values, but we just can't seem to match up, is what I'm getting. That's the hidden victory, seeing it now, before it gets too deep. Because it's still, you're just kind of dating, considering each other. I feel like what's best for both of you is the death card with the abundance. They're saying there's a lot better matches for both of you. You're both good people. You're both very passionate people is what I'm getting too. It's just not a match. And I feel like that's hard when you have similar values and you're like, you'd like it to work, but I feel like you're addressing it. Your hidden victory is you're addressing it and you're seeing it. You're just like, you know what? There's a lot here that's good, but there's very key points that aren't. And these key points are just going to break down the house. Before we even start down that road to even get one, I think we're just going to call it quits. And I feel the other person honoring that and understanding. And they're just saying this one isn't for you. That's where I feel this is going. You're giving it a fair shake, though. You're trying. You're not finding this out by just going, oh, I guess it's not, moving on. You're trying. You're both putting in the effort, but I feel like as it keeps going forward, you're just like, it's so much of a chore right now, and this is supposed to be the good part. It's supposed to be the good part, and it's this much of a challenge now. I don't think this is going to work. And they're saying that's the best decision. See it for what it is now, because if time kept going and you tried to force it in a relationship, that's when animosity and spitefulness and things like that would come forward, just because it would start to get very aggravating. But over time, it would get very aggravating, and then that's when the claws would start coming out. So they're saying, see it for what it is now before it gets there, anywhere near there. Because this is just the dating phase. All right, I think we're there. All right, thank you for watching. I hope that helped. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.